I don't know how. I don't know how. I genuinely don't understand, but it happened. Tory Lanez was found guilty. I don't understand how the hell this happened. I don't understand what went into this. I don't understand what the jury was thinking when they said beyond a reasonable doubt. But somehow, some way, Tory Lanez was found guilty on all 3 counts. Now, I wasn't on any side here. I'm not a Tory Lanez trooper. I'm not a Megan mercenary. I'm none of that. Like, I don't have any sides here. I have no sides. However, I will say this. It's hard for me to sit here and say that beyond a reasonable doubt, Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. I'm sorry. I just don't think that you can say that beyond a reasonable doubt, Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. It's just not beyond a reasonable doubt. And isn't it interesting that now that the jury has decided that Tory is guilty, everybody is somehow seeing a light that never even was there in the first place, right? When the trial was going on, what was everybody saying? It's not looking too good for the prosecution. Looks like Tory's gonna walk. It's gonna be a mistrial. There were too many seeds of doubt that were sown into the case for any juror who understands the gravity of their decision. Think about this, right? You're not only deciding the fate of Meg, but you're also deciding the fate of Tory. If you deem him guilty, he will spend years in prison. That is a big decision to make for someone else's fate. And they made that decision despite the massive amount of reasonable doubt. It's absolutely insane. And the only thing that I can think is that maybe these jurors were concerned about public backlash. Think about it. Imagine being so unlucky that you've been summoned for jury duty in the Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion case. You know, if you make the wrong decision, everybody's going to be on your ass, right? You know, if you do the wrong thing, even deeming Tory guilty, people are going to find out who those jurors were, I guarantee you, and harass them. Now, imagine what would happen if they deemed Tory not guilty. In this era of cancel culture, and find out where that person lives, and find out where they work at, and get that person fired. In this era, you think that those jurors are really going to do the right thing, which is, you know, say like, look, man, we don't think this guy's innocent because someone shot Meg, and if for damn sure it wasn't herself. But with the addition of Kelsey to the story and the addition of the witness that Tory brought on, it's just hard for us to sit here and say that he, without a doubt, shot Meg. Now, Meg lied multiple times in this case. She lied multiple times. It's not even up for debate. She lied about the fact that she didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory. Now, people were like, well, what does that matter? What does that matter? It matters because the incident that spawned the shooting in the first place, not the alleged shooting, it happened. The incident that spawned the shooting was created by an argument about the sexual relationship between Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, and Kelsey too. Meg lied about an incredibly pivotal point. She lied about something that was extremely necessary for people to know, or at least the court to know, to be able to make a rational decision. Like, yeah, you were messing around with Tory behind your friend's back, and he used that information as leverage in an argument with you and your friend to make you look bad, which made the argument spiral even worse and more out of control. But you didn't want us to know about that because you wanted to keep your private life private. Completely understandable. But when these cases come about, people want to know the full story. And Meg lied. Meg lied about a lot of shit. Meg left all sorts of holes in the story. Oh, I didn't tell the police that Tory shot me because I didn't want him to be killed by the police like George Floyd. Well, days later, you were called in to give more information. Tory Lanez is no longer in danger of being shot by some racist white cop. She still persisted in her story that she stepped on glass, Tory didn't shoot, nobody shot her. All of that was never a part of the story. Constant inconsistencies. I can't remember. Not remembering anything. Just not complete lack of memory as to what went on besides Tory shot me. So through all this point, you have no idea what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You have no idea what's going on up until the point that Tory starts shooting at you. That's where you start remembering everything. Come on. Come on. She lied about the fact that her and Kelsey were having an altercation because the witness literally said, I looked at the window and saw two females fighting. Meg said she had no physical altercations with anybody. Why lie about that? Why? I don't understand. Why lie about having a physical altercation? Did she think that if it came out that she had a physical altercation with Kelsey, that it would be considered self-defense, or a physical altercation with Tory would be what was she afraid of? Meg left so many holes in the story that people throughout the trial were convinced, I don't think the state of California is going to win this case against Tory Lanez. There's too many holes in Meg's story. She can't remember anything. They don't want to talk about the fact that Megan was inebriated that night. She was drunk. They don't want to talk about the discussion that was going on in the car, what kind of argument was going on back and forth. Meg can't remember anything that led up to that point besides, I got shot at. Why? Why can't she remember anything besides that? I don't understand. And then we get to the real reason why there's just no way you could properly convict Tory with any sort of logic is Kelsey. Good old Kelsey. Kelsey pulls up and says, you know what, guys? Everything I told the investigators, everything I told the detectives, everything I told the investigators, it was all a lie. When I said Tory shot Meg, I lied. When I said that this happened, I lied. When I said that happened, I lied. All of that Tory beat me up, I lied. All of that stuff I told you guys 2 years ago, I was lying. Oh, and by the way, anytime you ask me anything about that night that could possibly, actually, fuck that. Anytime you ask me about anything that night, I'm just going to plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. She pled the fifth so many times, I thought she shot Meg. I'm like, what are you scared of? If you didn't shoot Meg, what are you afraid of? And it's important to note this because Kelsey had gunshot residue on her, along with Tory. Now, why would she want to plead the fifth? She pled the fifth constantly when she took the stand, constantly, because there was more than likely a piece of information that would point to Kelsey being a possible shooter. Now, if this was about getting justice for Megan Thee Stallion, we would not exclude Kelsey from the conversation, which is what the prosecution did. They never tested Kelsey for DNA on the firearm. See, Tory's DNA came back inconclusive on the firearm somehow, some way, but they never tested for Kelsey. But this is about finding justice for Meg, right? You don't test Kelsey. Kelsey pleads the fifth multiple times, making it seem as though she's hiding something. She was obviously hiding something. And Kelsey claims that everything she said back then was a lie. Why is that? Why? Well, why doesn't really matter. So let me stop asking that. Why does it matter? The point is, was it proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Tory Lanez shot Meg? And the answer is unfortunately no. Now, I think one of these two shot Meg. I don't think Meg is wrong for looking for justice. Meg is not wrong for saying, hey, look, Tory shot me, I want justice. The problem is when you start convicting people and sentencing them to years in prison, we have to be realistic here. Was it proven by the prosecution beyond a reasonable doubt that Tory Lanez, aka Daystar, whatever the fuck, shot Meg? The answer is no. The answer is no. No. The answer is no. The answer is no. It was not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm sorry. It was not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. The witness that Tory brought about said, hey, look, I saw gun flashes coming from a female. They completely ignored that. Gun flashes coming from a female. The female was Kelsey. Kelsey pleads the fifth a fuckload of times. Kelsey has gunshot residue on her. Kelsey was not tested for DNA evidence on the firearm. What are we even, why is this trial even a thing anymore? Scrap the trial and charge Tory and Kelsey. Charge Tory and Kelsey and go test that DNA to see if it comes back positive on Kelsey. But they already had their mind made up as to who they wanted to be guilty. And it was Tory Lanez. Good old Tory, Daystar. And now he's guilty in the court of law. Despite the fact that there's no way that you could say that beyond a reasonable doubt, Tory did it. There's too much of a reasonable doubt. If we're being honest here. And unfortunately, because of that massive reasonable doubt, despite the fact that the jury deemed Tory guilty, people are going to be mad at Meg forever. And I think people need to let up on Meg because Meg's the one who got shot. Someone, either Tory or Kelsey, mishandled a firearm and endangered not only their own lives, but Meg's life too. And Meg was hit by bullet fragments. And at the end of the day, someone is guilty. Someone is responsible. The problem is that it was not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. There were too many holes in the story. And if this is truly about finding justice for Megan Thee Stallion, one would have to take Kelsey and say, Kelsey, what are you hiding? Huh? You pled the fifth 5 times. Bring your ass in this courtroom and explain to us what the hell is going on. Are you guilty? Are you guilty? As if she would say yes. But for real though, like, are you guilty? Anything you want to tell us? You know, like that. Seriously, though. Seriously. And, you know, there's a pretty good chance that Tory's probably going to appeal and maybe possibly get out. It's possible he might appeal this and get out because it just wasn't proven beyond a reasonable doubt. And what does this tell you? What does this teach? What is the lesson here? Number one, stay away from California. California is like Twitter if it was a state. California is so far, and specifically Los Angeles, the city of like, why would you even, bro, if you go somewhere like LA, get in, do your business, and get out. Don't be fraternizing, don't be hanging around, don't be fooling around, stay away. Number two, never fold to peer pressure. The only reason why Tory Lanez ended up in that vehicle that night is because Meg pressured him to leave. Meg was making a big scene because she was drunk about the fact that Tory was flirting with Kylie. Meg made a big scene and Kylie told her, look, you have to leave because you're doing too much. She refuses to leave without Tory, which is a story from Kelsey and Tory. Meg refuses to give anybody a proper picture of what the fuck happened with Kylie's house. And it's fucked that Kylie didn't testify because now Tory's guilty. So it's like, you know, like Meg was drunk, belligerent, antagonistic, and pressured Tory into leaving. Tory should have stayed 10 toes down and said, you need to leave. Kylie told you to leave. I'm staying my ass here. Fellas, never fold. Ladies too. Don't let anybody that you have a sexual relationship or otherwise pressure you. Especially when they're inebriated. Especially when they're being irrational. Had Tory said, you know what? Meg, yeah, we have a sexual relationship. Yeah, we're cool and all that, but we're not dating. And I'm trying to get sweet on Kylie Jenner right now. And I'm a grown-ass man. We're not dating. And you have been messing with me behind your friend's back. So, truthfully, I owe you. There's really no reason why I should leave this premises and go anywhere with you. Tory should have stayed 10 toes down. Tory should have been a man and said, look, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving here. I'm not leaving Kylie's house. It doesn't matter if you're only causing a stink because of me. Kylie told you to leave. Now get gone. Unfortunately, Tory left with them and got into that argument with them. Number 3, actually, my bad. Is it number 2 or number 3? See, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, my brain is like, my bad, y'all. Another important point. We're not going to number this point, but another important point. Fellas, never argue with women. Never, ever argue with a woman. Unless it's like your mom or something. And even then, watch your mouth. Never argue with females. It never ends well. Ever. It doesn't matter if it's your wife of 20 years, never argue. Just don't do it. All the back and forth and the, well, you was fucking me behind your friend's back. And don't do that. Because then you end up like Tory Lanez, a.k.a. Daystar. Then you end up like Daystar. Okay? That's what happens. You get into an argument with a female, shit always goes left. You're never going to be able to get, like, there's no point. You're arguing with you're drunk. You're arguing, or maybe, I think Tory was drunk. I'm pretty sure he was drunk. You're drunk. You're arguing with 2 drunk women about sexual relationships and whatever. Like, think about it. This chick is mad at you because you're getting sweet on Kylie Jenner, but she fucked you behind her friend's back, and that very friend is a friend she brought with her. She brought that friend to the party, knowing you were coming. She fucked you behind her friend's back, brought that friend to the party, knowing you would be there, and is mad because you're trying to get sweet on Kylie Jenner. Come on. Like, let's be realistic here, right? In that situation as a man, you cannot entertain an argument about something that ridiculous. You're mad about some shit that you've done. You've done this before. How could you be mad at me? Tory fell for that. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. Never argue with a woman. It's an automatic L. You can't win as a man by arguing with a woman. It's not possible. I've never seen it happen. I've never seen it happen. I've never seen a man win. It never ends well. Always walk away. And furthermore, don't be carrying firearms illegally if you're a multimillionaire rapper. Get your security. Hire security. Have them sit outside in the car while you're in the party with Kylie. Make it quick. Slide in. Get sweet on Kylie. And then slide out. Don't make your security wait for hours and hours like a dick. Make sure they have weapons legally. Move smart. Because they added more charges. Oh, Tory Lanez in possession of a firearm illegally. Tory Lanez reckless discharge of a whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a type of just like carelessness. Absolute carelessness. Unfortunately. And the truth of the matter is that Tory wouldn't have been in this situation if he had simply stood 10 toes down and said, look, I'm not leaving. You need to leave. Kylie told you to leave. You're being belligerent. Leave. Tory instead decides to be the better man, maybe, and walks away and says, you know what? I'm leaving because Meg is causing a problem. I'll leave. Sorry. Like, I'll leave. I'm making a problem here. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but this is the type of shit. This is the type of shit, bro. It's fucked up that he was found guilty because there's so much reasonable doubt that it's absolutely ridiculous that this guy's life has been forever destroyed. But, you know, fellas, learn from and ladies too. Ladies, because we can all learn from this. Two females fighting over a guy to the point that it gets physical and a gun is involved. Really? 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 I get that they were drunk, but still. Fighting over a dude. And then bullets start flying. Like, what are we talking about here? It's very important for people to understand that, like, life is bigger than these petty arguments and disagreements. Way too much bigger. And when you're a rapper like Tory Lanez or Megan Thee Stallion, you got to understand the blessing that you have in front of you. You are not invincible, as this day has clearly shown. Through Tory's, his punishment today has shown that no one is invincible. No one is invincible. And despite the fact that the prosecution made an absolute fool of themselves, despite the fact that Tory Lanez by no means even smelled guilty in this trial, the fact that Tory looked like he was probably innocent and Kelsey was guilty, despite the fact that all of this looked like an absolute, shit show for the prosecution, Tory was still found guilty. Ladies and gentlemen, learn from this shit. Learn from this shit. You don't want to be Meg getting shot at by the guy that you have a relationship with or your friend. And you don't want to be Tory getting 20-something years because someone's accusing you of something that they can't even possibly prove in court. It's an all-around fucked situation. And, it's just unfortunate that Tory and Meg ended up in this situation. But fellas, specifically fellas, don't argue with women, bro. Do not argue. Do not have back and forths, physical altercations. There is nothing wrong with walking away at all. At all. It's okay, especially for Tory Lanez. You're a famous rapper. So what if you're messing around with Megan Thee Stallion and now Meg is mad at you because you wanted to get sweet on Kylie Jenner? Who cares? Who cares? Don't argue back and forth with Meg. Don't argue back and forth with Kelsey. Get lost. Get gone. Leave. Tory was in control there. Tory made an unfortunate decision because Tory's driver, it's Tory's driver, not Meg's. It's not Meg's driver. It's Tory's driver. It's all Tory. Tory, there was no way he could have known it got that bad. It would get that bad. But sometimes you got to make hard decisions. And, it's easy to say that now that we know how everything turned the fuck out, but fuck. Hey man, look, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't think that Tory was proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't think that Tory I don't think that the prosecution proved that Tory shot Meg. I think that the prosecution proved that it's probable that Kelsey shot Meg. It's possible, not just possible, it's also probable that Kelsey shot Meg. And, the prosecution proved that they had a dead set plan to get at Tory. That was their goal, to get at Tory. And they accomplished that. If the goal was to actually figure out who shot Meg, Kelsey would have been sitting there with Tory, sitting there wondering what their fate was going to be. Instead, y'all. Instead, Kelsey got up there and acted a fool, pled the fifth multiple times, damn near looked guilty herself, and Tory walks away the guilty man. Locked up now, can't even see his fucking family. So let that be a lesson to everybody, bro. Let that be a fucking lesson. Unfortunate situation all around, but not much that could be done. The jury's in, the verdict is in from the jury, and it's just about over for now for Tory Lanez. So take from that what you will. Like, comment, subscribe.